Good morning, this is meteorologist and master's student Allison Krantz with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for August 20th, 2025. So looking ahead at the fire potential impacts, it's going to be breezy and dry over various parts of the northern one-third of the Great Basin for the next 2 days as this cold front approaches and moves through the region. It should be exiting our region on Friday. Hotter and dry weather through mid to late week with increasing fire behavior and isolated drier lightning today in northeast Nevada and southern Idaho. And then a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms are going to start increasing as we move into Thursday and Friday. Looking at the past 24 hours, see some scattered precipitation on that eastern side of Nevada. All this precipitation in that 0 to a quarter of an inch range. And also some of that in southern Nevada, and then some up in northern Idaho. For lightning, this morning here where those bright orange dots are, we've already seen some lightning strikes in the southeast there in Idaho with this line of some precipitation that's been in there. And then there were some strikes in northeast Nevada last night, which are more of those purple colors. But we're already getting off to a start with our lightning. Also some lightning strikes a little older up there as well in northern Idaho. For the Great Basin fire activity, some new starts occurred primarily in eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, and the largest one being the one-way fire in the Arizona Strip. Yesterday, there was initial attack activity for 9 fires of a combined 257 acres. Large fire growth of 38,025 acres also occurred yesterday, with most of that coming from the Cottonwood Peak fire, which exploded yesterday from the combination of the dry conditions and winds. Current priority fires include the Cottonwood Peak fire, Rock fire, Buckley Draw fire, Monroe Canyon fire, Beulah fire, and Box fire. Looking at the past 7 days for the precipitation totals, we're seeing a widespread precipitation coverage over the Great Basin of that quarter of an inch to half an inch range. And then we also are seeing that 1 to 2 inch range along the southern Idaho to Nevada border there, Arizona Strip, which is seeing that monsoonal precipitation, and then some parts in eastern Idaho. Looking at the percent of normal across the Great Basin, still below normal for most of the basin there. It's been on the drier end, except for there in western Nevada, and northern Idaho started to expand down with some of those areas now above normal for precipitation, as well as western Wyoming. Looking at the RAWS ERC percentile point map, still very dry across most of Utah and eastern Nevada in that 97 plus percentile range. Still seeing some improvement up there in northwest Nevada and northern Idaho. However, this will most likely be drastically changing as we get precipitation in the upcoming days. Looking at current ERC values for the Great Basin, focusing on northwest Nevada, seeing these values around average right now for this time of year. But it's a very different story in the Arizona Strip. They are way above maximum for this time of year. However, this green line shows the upcoming 7-day forecast, and as this precipitation comes into our area and some of that monsoonal precipitation affects the Arizona Strip, we're going to be seeing a massive downward spike to around average or even below average. And this will probably be seen across most of our regions there that are going to be getting more rains. There should be some drastic downward falls for some of these ERC values. First satellite this morning can see the front entering the area there in western Idaho and Nevada. Ahead of the front, we are seeing some cloud coverage in northern Idaho and some precipitation with lightning strikes in the southeastern Idaho region. Cloud coverage also present in eastern Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and southern Utah. A 4-corner high will be settling into place and sticking around for the next few days. Today, the largest concentration of smoke is going to be coming off of the Cottonwood Peak fire and from the fires up in northern Idaho. Thursday, we'll still be seeing this large concentration of smoke associated with the Cottonwood Peak fire and from those fires up in Idaho. Today, very dry conditions for western Nevada and dry conditions beginning to move into Idaho. A 4 corners high will be present and precipitation chances for southeastern Idaho, western Wyoming, northeastern Nevada, and southeastern Utah. High risks will be issued for lightning in northeastern Nevada, eastern Idaho, and western Wyoming. High risk for winds will also be issued for northeastern Nevada and most of Idaho. Areas with lightning risks over the coming days will also have gusty outflow winds associated with those storms, adding further risk. The rest of the basin will be in moderate risk. Winds today will be mostly concentrated in Idaho in the 20 to 35 mile per hour range. Behind the front in Idaho, winds will be northwesterly, and then ahead of the front in Idaho, they will be northeasterly. Relative humidities will be in the single digits and low teens for Nevada and Utah, but on the comparatively higher end in Idaho. Temperatures will be cooler in Idaho and western Wyoming with the front, but still on the hot end for Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and Utah. Precipitation chances will be in western Wyoming, northeast Nevada, southeastern Idaho, and southern Utah. Thursday, very dry conditions will settle over Idaho. The Four Corners High is still going to be in place. Precipitation chances will cover most of Utah, the Arizona Strip, and eastern central Nevada. Ahead of the front, they'll be cutting diagonally across the center of the basin. High risk for lightning is going to be issued again for the Arizona Strip, western Wyoming, and then through a vertical path of central Utah and Ely north. Winds will have a chance to be in the 20 to 35 mile per hour range for Idaho and western Wyoming. Relative humidities will be slightly improved in Utah into the higher teens. Nevada will be seeing single digits to low teens. Temperatures still on the cooler side for northern Idaho and western Wyoming. Still hot for most of Nevada and Utah. The highest precipitation chances will be across Utah and in the southeastern areas of Nevada. Friday, very dry conditions for Idaho and western Wyoming. Four Corners High is still in place. There will be widespread precipitation across Utah, the Arizona Strip, eastern Nevada, and the Sierra Front. Another high-risk day for lightning for the southern Sierra Front, eastern Nevada, and south central Utah areas. Improvement to low risk for the southern Arizona Desert, Arizona Strip, and southern Utah. Winds will be on the calmer end Friday. The pinks and browns seen in the image are from thunderstorm outflow and not on the ground sustained wind. However, do be aware of these thunderstorm outflow gusts because they can be associated with these storms that will be in the area and their increased lightning risks. Relative humidities will be higher in Utah, drying out in Idaho, and staying relatively the same in Nevada. Temperatures still cooler for western Wyoming, but starting to warm up now for northern Idaho. Still hot for the rest of the basin. Highest precipitation chances will be across Utah, eastern Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and the Sierra Front. Looking ahead for the forecasted 3-day precipitation accumulation, you can see most of this precip in the 1/100 of an inch to a 1/10 of an inch in Utah, eastern Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and along the Sierra Front. Saturday, Four Corners High still in place. Precipitation chances across Utah and Nevada. However, not in northern Nevada, where conditions will still be remaining critical. Idaho and Wyoming will be remaining on the dry end. High risk for lightning in central Nevada, and risk improvements to low risk for all of Utah, except northwest Utah and central Utah regions. Southern Nevada will also be moved down to low risk. Sunday, low pressure will be over the basin, bringing precipitation chances for Nevada and Utah. Idaho may see some precipitation, but will be on the drier side. The entirety of Utah will now be in low risk, and 2 more sections of central Nevada will move over to low risk. Monday, low pressure still over the area, bringing another day of widespread precipitation for Utah and Nevada. All of Utah will remain in low risk, with all but northern Nevada transitioning to low risk. Tuesday, a low pressure over northern Idaho, and another day of widespread precipitation for the basin, in southern Nevada, and across Utah. Idaho and Wyoming staying on the drier side. The rest of Nevada, except Drawbridge, will be added to low risk. The forecasted 7-day precipitation totals show widespread ranges of 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches for most of Nevada, Utah, the Arizona Strip, and western Wyoming. Idaho will be a little drier in comparison. Looking at the NOAA CPC 8 to 14 day outlook, temperatures will be primarily near normal for most of the basin, except the western half of Idaho, and northwestern Nevada, where they will see above normal temperatures. Precipitation totals remaining above normal for the basin. And that's the end of today's briefing. If you have any questions, here are the contacts to reach out to. Hope you all have a wonderful day.